pleased to be joined by the 2022 Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion, Anna Davis, and of course, the inaugural winner, Jennifer Kupcho from 2019. What a memorable first event that was, a game changer for the game of golf. Jennifer, I want to start with you because I know that you were driving in your car on your way to the third round of the Chevron Championship and catching the action simultaneously going on at Augusta National when Anna was winning. And I'm just wondering from the good vibes department how that impacted you going into the weekend of a major.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that too loudly watching and driving, but I was. Yeah, so it was super exciting. I think just like all the good memories from there, just like it's such a good environment and like it brought back all those memories for me. And I watched it the year before. So I just feel like it's a place for me that is super special. So I'm always going to watch it. And it just so happened to be that I was playing well in the event as well.
So just a coincidence.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Well, Anna, while you were playing, social media was blowing up about your look, specifically your bucket hat, but then also the fact that you look so chill. So I'm wondering, were you really feeling as chill as you looked?
I think so. I mean, like when you're playing Augusta, it just almost feels like a walk in the park. So I think I knew like going into that final day that anybody had a chance at winning. So I was just laid back about it. So I tried not to of playing at Augusta and having all those people watching.
What's it like to be a trendsetter with all the people talking about your hat?
At first it was actually pretty funny. Because it was just like a coincidence that I decided to wear a bucket hat that day. And I hadn't put a bucket hat on for months. And so just the fact that I put one on that day and it happened to become a huge thing on social media was super funny. And then I just remember like after the round, like scrolling for like hours on like Twitter and Instagram, like seeing like the jokes that were being made and stuff. So yeah, that was super cool to see. And just like being in the spotlight for a while was fun.
I want to ask both of you, we'll start with Jennifer. How did winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur change your life?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely life-changing. I mean, nobody really knew the effects of it, with it being the first one when I won. But it really just like brings your name into everything. And kind of everything that happens. I mean, even now I'm still like known as the Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion. Like, not that that's a bad thing, but like I've done other things now. So like, but it's always there and it's always a big deal. And I think that's such a great thing for women's golf and women's amateur golf is to be that well known that like I'm still known for that. Like that's pretty amazing.
A champion's finish as Jennifer Kupcho is the first winner of the Augusta National Women's Amateur.
And a major champion.
Yeah.
And so Anna, I'll ask you, how did winning change your life?
I mean, as Jennifer said, it like really brings your name into the spotlight. And like I'd never really had that before the tournament. But I mean, after it's just like so many like great people that you meet and you make connections. And like for me, I got to, you know, play in a bunch of LPGA events and I got to play with Jennifer once. And it was just like so cool to have that experience. Just my first time like being on tour and playing with like the most elite golfers. And so I think that was a super big thing. Just being able to like have my name in the spotlight for a while and stuff like that.
Looking back, what do you think was the most important shot or hole that really swung the momentum in your direction? We'll start with you, Jennifer.
I think my hybrid shot, I know it's like the famous shot that everybody talks about, but I really think that was a change. I mean, I had just gotten rid of the blurry vision. So then to be able to come back and hit that shot, I think that was just crazy. And like the background behind that, like in the practice round, my caddy was like, yo, that shot is never going to draw off that lie. Like, just know it's not going to. And so like to be able to trust that in the actual tournament, it was just like amazing to be able to hit it that close and then make the putt for eagle.
Where is that club, by the way? Is it still in your bag?
Actually, I think Augusta has it.
Oh, of
Um,
course. They
yeah.
should.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they have it. So
Perfect. Okay, so Anna, how about you? What do you think was the key moment?
I think on hole 9 when I made that putt for birdie, that kind of put me like farther up on the leaderboard. So that gave me a lot of momentum going into the back 9. And then the shot on 12, hitting a super good shot there and then making birdie was huge. I think I was like tied for first or second there. I don't really remember. But I just remember having like a bunch of momentum, just a bunch of like adrenaline rushing going into like those final few holes. So I think those 2 shots were definitely the big ones.
Well, as you mentioned, winning this tournament opened a lot of doors for you, Anna. You played in a lot of LPGA events, several majors. What did you learn about your game competing at the next level?
I know that I definitely have a lot to learn. Just like learning from the golfers that I played with. It's just so mental being out there. I've never really like struggled with like confidence much, but like being out there and playing against like the best players in the world, like definitely like it's definitely a lot harder. So that was one of like the big things, just like you realize how much mental game like plays in. So I think that's definitely one of the main things that separates like the pros from the amateurs.
Jennifer, speaking of championships, you've won multiple titles this year, including a major championship at the Chevron. Obviously had a tremendous Solheim Cup debut in 2021. What did winning on a stage like Augusta National do to help you prepare for these big moments in professional golf?
yeah, just to like win in front of so many people. Like I don't know if I even to this day have played in front of so many people. Like if you combine like all the people that were there in person and all the people watching, like there's nothing like it. Like especially just everyone wants to watch Augusta, and I think that's what the big draw is and what's so amazing about the whole entire tournament. But just to have that kind of confidence and know like I've done that, it still doesn't always transfer over. I mean, I have been very nervous when I've won on tour. I mean, it's so hard. And I mean, even from my first 3 years out here, like it's really hard to win. And even now, after winning 3 times, I wouldn't say it's any easier. It's still very difficult. And so it's just amazing to say that I've done that.
And by the time this airs, you might have won more.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, what do you think has been the key to such a successful 2022 season?
Honestly, I think a couple of things. I think I've really worked on my putting a lot, and that's always been my downfall. My first couple of years on tour, I figured out how to hit a lot of different kind of short game shots, and that really helped. But really, I mean, putting is so mental. I mean, you see it all across golf that it's just such a mental thing. So having that mentality but also fixing my stroke to where it could become almost automatic, I think really helped me get those. And I think aside from that, having the couple of major things of getting married off my plate is very helpful and less stressful in my life. So I think that really helped to kind of take off all of that from my plate as well, to just be able to focus on golf.
A lot has happened to you since you won 2019.
Yeah.
A lot of life.
Yeah.
Anna, Jennifer has said that just stepping on the range at Augusta National made a huge first impression for her. What was your big first impression moment when you stepped on property for the first time?
Well, the first time we stepped on property was the chairman's dinner. And I just remember walking out like onto the grounds, and it's so much more open than you would think. And you really like see everything from where like the clubhouse is or whatever. And so it was that was super cool to see just how nothing is out of place, not one thing, just how beautiful it is. And I mean, you see it on TV, but it's like when it's in front of you, it's just so much better. Yeah, and then also just hitting off the range was super cool in the practice round, and getting to walk around the course when nobody was there was also pretty breathtaking. So
So quiet, right?
yeah.
And to the contrast of that, looking at the final round, how would you describe the atmosphere, Anna, that Saturday at Augusta?
It's so funny because it was just so much different from the practice round. I mean, it was electric. I mean, when I was on the range, I wasn't expecting like that many people to go up, and I remember being on the first tee, like shaking, like nervous. I was probably like the most nervous I was all day, trying to like hit the tee shot. I was like, okay, just get it off the ground on this one. Um, but that was the first time playing in front of so many people. So yeah, it was so cool.
Jennifer, I remember what it was like when I rounded the corner in 2019 and went up the hill on the 18th, and to where you could actually see the green, and it was packed. And I thought to myself, this looks like the Masters on Sunday. Like it just, I was blown away by that scene on 18. What was it like for you going up 18 with your good friend Maria Fassi?
Yeah, it was amazing. I think like I've said before, like the biggest thing I thought about was like, wow, this is amazing. This is literally like a Master Sunday. But like also in the back of my head, I was like, all right, somehow my parents are gonna have to get to where they need to be. Like, I wonder how with all of these people, how that's gonna happen. So that it was just like cool to like be in that situation and be like, how is this all gonna come together? Like this is absolutely unreal. Like it's never been seen before. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still have chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Jennifer, you mentioned earlier your wedding, you're building a life with your husband Jay in Arizona. I'm curious, have you built a trophy case? And do you have a special place for that robe from the chevron?
Um, I don't have a trophy case. It's more of like a room that I don't know. It'll get nicer eventually, but I haven't really had time. Yeah, it's cool. Everything's like set up, so it does look really nice, but I would like it to be nicer someday. And the robe is actually hanging in my closet, so uh, nothing special for that yet.
But you get to look at it often then, I guess. It's
Yes, exactly.
right there front and center. Well,
Yeah.
as more time has gone by, what does it come to mean to you to be the first to win at Augusta National, and then similarly to be the last to jump into Poppy's Pond as that event moves on to Texas?
Yeah, it's really special. Just to be able to say that I did that is super cool. I think to have won the first, but then also to follow that up with the last jump in Poppy's Pond. Um, Kind of walking down the 18th hole during the practice round at Chevron was I definitely like was thinking like this would be so cool to be the last person, but like I didn't really put two and two together. So to now put it together it's pretty cool to be able to say that I did that.
Yeah, you'll forever be in history, that's for sure. So, Anna, you actually get a chance to go back to Augusta and do this all over again. What will your schedule be like leading up to the event, and how will you prepare?
I actually have a pretty similar schedule to what I had last year. It's just like a few junior events, and then I have the Sage Valley Invitational. So yeah, I think just the main things that I'm kind of working on is just like now that it's kind of off season, just working on the mentality aspect and the physical aspect, of course, and so yeah.
I want to ask both of you, what do you think? We'll start with you, Jennifer. What do you think the overall impact has been of the Augusta National Women's Amateur on just golf as a whole?
I think it's really just brought into light the amount of good players that we have in amateur golf. I mean, you kind of always see it, but like you see it coming up into the LPGA or into the PGA, like it's just so extensive of how many good players we have. But to have that kind of viewership at Augusta, for the women. I mean, it's a great impact, and it's just bringing lights to all parts of the game that we never had before.
Anna, what do you think?
I think it's just super amazing how we now have like an opportunity to play at Augusta, and people watch the Masters every year, and I think it's just cool that we get to play where all of those players have played now, and we're kind of put into the spotlight. And you don't really get to see like women's amateur golf in the spotlight, and so I think it's super cool that we get to be in the spotlight. And so yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity for all of us.
I'm sure it's talked a lot and you're on the AJGA circuit and in the college ranks. A lot of anticipation for it every year now. The tournament on the calendar. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. It was so fun to take a trip down memory lane from your wonderful moments at Augusta National, and also to catch up with you on all the life that has transpired since then. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you in 2023.
Thank you so much.